Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm RP. Today I'm going to show you how to make a 2099 Spider-Man helmet. Stick around. So the progress of my Spider-Man 2099 armor is coming along nicely, and I have completed the helmet that goes with the armor. I actually have two of these helmets. The first one is a black with red lenses, and I just love this helmet. It just looks so amazing. This one has the honeycomb pattern on it. This is not painted. This is just a fresh raw print right off of my Creality CR10S. Looks amazing. I printed another helmet that is the smooth, non-textured version, because that is going to go with the rest of my Spider-Man 2099 armor that I am also building. So I'm going to show you how I printed this, how I painted it, got it all together. So let's just dive right into it. Here I have the helmet on my CR10S build plate. You can see where I put supports. I do not put supports in the middle of the helmet. There's just no need. The printer will handle it just fine. The angle of the dome is such that you just won't need that wasted support material. This was very easy to put on my CR10S. As far as the back of the helmet and the lenses, also exceptionally easy to position. You can see how I have the lenses, the frames, and the back of the helmet positioned on my CR10S, and where I have my custom supports placed in position, and my CR10S handled this helmet beautifully. So if you have a smaller to mid-size printer, it should be just fine. Well, here it is coming off my CR10S, and it turned out really well. Not a lot of layer lines. It's a pretty smooth print. The supports, they came off really easily, and I just used the standard settings on the supports, and taking them off was really not too much of a problem at all. And even on the back of the helmet, those seem to just pop right off. And then I just tested the back of the helmet to the front of the helmet for fitting purposes, and it was a nice, perfect fit. So everything came off the printer fantastically well. So I have palm sanded that with 100 grit sandpaper. Looks really nice. Along these edges, I'm just going to take some 150 and smooth those down. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because this is going to be covered by the, get off of there. This is going to be covered by the back of the head. So I have to sand this down. Get that nice and smooth, and I'll put some wood filler up here and on the top to get this extra smooth, and then we will put on some filler primer, which goes on very nice. It self levels and it's easy to sand. Now I've got both of these sanded down with 100 grit sandpaper. I'm going to take about a 200 to 250 and take the palm sander to it again, get all of the rough imperfections out, then I'll put on some wood filler on the top and in other areas that might need some patching to make it smooth before we put on the filler primer. So let's hit this with the 250 grit sandpaper. Apply is filler primer. This stuff works amazing. You can use Bondo. I like filler primer. It's easy to apply. It is super easy to sand. And I just put a little on my finger, dab it in a bit of water, and simply rub it into the print. And you can see some of these little lines in there that need to be filled. That's what I'm working on. So I'll get a nice coat on here, we'll sand it down, and then get on another coat. There you go. I put an extremely thin coat on the top of this shell. There were a couple of pieces on the nose, underneath the chin, and just wanted to get, you know, as many imperfections. You don't have to get all of them. The best thing to do is get a good portion of it, let it dry, sand it smooth, then prime it. This filler primer is going to fill in a lot, and it's going to save you a lot of time and work. And this can be sanded. So if we have to go back and put more wood filler after we've primed it, we can do that. But I think this will suffice for now. I'm going to put a little under the helmet here where you can see some layer lines. It was just how the print was positioned on the printer. It showed a little bit of layer lines. It's fine. I will just put a little filler primer in there and we should be good to go. I have sanded down the wood filler, and I'm going to now give this a coat of filler primer. I will most likely need to go back in and fix a couple of spots, but let's give this a coat and see what it does. Got the lenses and the frames done. You can see that there's some work I've got to do with some filler, wood filler. I'll get all of those lines smoothed out, get that sanded back down, more filler primer. These should be awesome. These are going to be the Metal Cast Red, which requires a gold base coat, and then the red on top. These are going to be gloss white, which will match the helmet. This has had time to dry, a couple of hours. It's dry to the touch in like 15 minutes. But to sound this, you want a good couple of hours. I'm going to use some 600 grit sandpaper, see what kind of a finish I get, go in with some wood filler where I need to, and let that dry. So here's everything primed. Again, you can see there is some detail work to be done to fill in some of these layer lines and get them really smooth. But once that's all done, this will be ready for paint. These eyes are going to have an anodized red from Duplicolor. And this is what this is what my Iron Man suit is painted with, but this is not really a paint. This is like a top coat, and it needs a metallic base. This gold, it works phenomenally well with. So I will spray these lenses once they're all smooth and they're ready for paint. I will spray them with the gold, and then I will go on top of the gold with multiple light coats of red. And these are just gonna pop so nicely against the white helmet. For the white, I am just using Rust-Oleum Gloss White. This is what my Stormtrooper costume is painted with, and it turned out awesome. So, to seal these paints, I am using the Duplicolor 1K, which seals this metal cast extremely well. So this will be sealed with Duplicolor, and then the white is going to be sealed with the Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear. I can't wait to get this done. This is going to look awesome. So we got to let this dry before we can sand and put on more wood filler. So you saw this before it was painted with the before it was painted with the white. You saw it with the primer, and before I put on the white, I just hit it dry sanding with 600 grit sandpaper just to smooth that out. This is just one coat. Look, there's the tree. It's gonna come out amazing. These inset or recessed details look great. And then I've got a little bug in there. So 'tis the season for, I guess, gnats. I don't know. No one's gonna see that, but this is coming out incredible. Taking patience, sanding, the right amount of filler primer and wood putty. It'll never let you down. All right, third coat. It looks great. So this isn't even with the gloss coat yet, but it looks phenomenal. We will get these lenses painted white as well. We are now ready for the base coat, gold, on the lenses for the metal cast red. Let's hope that the gold goes on nice. That's nice. Me likey. Ooh, there's one coat. I'll get a couple of more of those suckers. A couple of minutes apart. Nice. Man, makes me want to leave it gold, but I won't. I'm going to do the red. You're going to love the red. You're going to see what that looks like. 2 more coats, a couple of minutes apart. Third coat. Look at how amazing that looks. Oh, I love it. That would look so good with the white, but I got to focus. That's going to go red. It's going to look so good with white. All right, now off to the eyes. Going to paint them white. Got to be careful with these so that I don't plug up the holes. So you have to do light coats. Let's try to get these done. All right, we're ready to take the metal cast red and put it on top of the gold. So if you haven't used this before, this expensive product, it's ridiculous, but it is awesome. This gold is going to act as a base to pop this shiny metallic red color. It's the same color I use on my Iron Man suits. And this is an old can, and I hope it works okay. The idea is to get a light coat, maybe 3 or 4 of them. So let's spray this up and see how this goes. First coat, light dusting. We'll let this dry 10 minutes and go coat 2. All right, that's 3 coats. I think I'm gonna go with a heavier coat. On the final coat, it's looking amazing. And boy, in the sun, this is gonna pop. This isn't even with the gloss coat yet. So let's put on the final coat. Okay, we are ready for the clear coat. Let's give this a whirl. This you got to shake up for a good 2 minutes, and then you let it dry for 10, put on another coat, let it dry for 10, put on a third coat. And I'll do these coats rather lightly. This is a used can. Use at own risk. This should be okay though. Here we go. I mean, wow. I love that clear coat and this metal cast red. That is going to look so amazing against that white. That is going to pop. I should not be handling this, but I just could not help myself. This is soaking wet, but man, that looks awesome. Oh, I've just got to get the magnets once this all dries, of course, and I get that clear coated. Get the magnets installed, and we will be up and running. So cool. So it's time to glue in the lenses, and I have sanded the edges so that the glue can get some bite. The glue that I use is a CA glue. It's just a super amazing glue, and it comes with an accelerator. And just like that, we have our lenses installed. Man, those look good. Love it.
Let's talk magnets. Magnets are easy if you do them the right way. What I do is I paint a red dot. Well, just use any color, but you get your magnets just like this, and you paint the dot on the top and on each one. So you count out how many you need, depending on the piece that you're going to be putting magnets into. Put the red dot on, keep them separated from each other. And you can then scuff up the back side that's going to be glued in on a piece of sandpaper. And then the piece will have the magnet, which will then be glued with this CA glue. You can put the glue inside the holes. And what I like to do is take my X-Acto knife and pick up the magnet, and it just attaches right to it. So I've already got it positioned just like I need it. I can spray the back side that's going to be glued with the accelerator, put a quick spray on that, then pick that back up. And once I have the glue installed, or I should say put into the hole, I just simply slip it in there and it is glued. So you can see the red on the magnets facing me on the eye lens, and then the red is facing inward on the helmet. That way it snaps right into place. And I only needed 5 magnets, 10 in total, 5 for the lenses, 5 for the helmet. Let's get the other side done just like this one. So again, same thing, red facing out, red facing on the helmet in. Snaps right into place. Looks so good. The red on that white looks amazing. Could not be happier. Did the same thing with the back of the helmet where it has magnets as well.
Now that I've got the magnets all installed on the helmet, excuse me, I'm going to put a little bit of foam padding inside the helmet. I'm going to put a piece right up in that little schnasty area. And I think I'm going to put a piece of foam back here so that it's nice and snug. So let me get that cut out and glued in. After a lot of test fitting, seeing what was going to work best, I went a little bit in a different direction. I did glue a foam piece on the back part of the helmet, which snugs this up to the back part of my head really nicely. But on the inside, I put a little half circle, but I cut that foam, which is 1 inch, in half. So I didn't want too much bulk there, so I cut that down. And instead of going with the foam disc, which was too thick, I went with some very slim, this is probably like 2 millimeter, 1 millimeter EVA foam. It's just craft foam that you can pick up at any hobby store, Hobby Lobby, anywhere. And I just cut out a circular pattern and put that on top of that rough part. And that still gives me a little bit of cushion. And then I put 2 half circles on the cheekbones. So that snugs up really nice to my face, but it's not too tight. And again, I cut those half circles in half. You could buy, you know, thinner craft foam or fabric foam, but I just cut it in half with the X-Acto knife. And so all of this together really makes for a nice, snug, comfortable fit. I'll show you what that looks like. And then you have it. Nice fit. Really feels good. Spider-Man 2099 helmet. I love it. It's very comfortable. I'm going to have a white neck covering under here when I have the entire suit built. And yeah, it'll have also a collar neck piece. It's going to look great, but I love the paint job. Man, that metallic anodized red looks amazing, and that gloss white, that's super clean. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll check you later.